Good morning, and welcome to everybody who's new. My name is Cassidy Knack, not Schaefer. My story, I hope, today took me by surprise this past summer as my husband and I were on our honeymoon. We got married on August 1st, and we then traveled to Italy for the honeymoon. Neither of us have been to Italy, and of course, my expectations were super high. We started our trip in Pisa, then to Rome, Sorrento, and back to Naples, where my sister lives, who is stationed with the Navy. Our flight to is about 3 connecting flights, about 12 hours or more. Our first week, we stayed in Pisa for 2 days, Rome for 3 days. The first hotel was basically us just sleeping because we were so tired from the flight. And there was not much to do in Pisa. Rome, the hotel was not what I expected. The bed was super uncomfortable. There was no air conditioning, and it was like 85 degrees or more. And on top of that, we had shared facilities. Again, a lot of walking, so we were just tired. In that 5 to 6 days, we spent about 3 of those just in traveling. I remember being in the station to take the ferry over to Sorrento, and I was literally crying because I was just so tired and homesick. And even though Rome was really cool, I was just, in a way, disappointed at the expectations I had. Steve said if I really wanted to, that we could go home early and skip the second half of the week. But I knew my sister was looking forward to seeing us in Naples, so I decided to stick it out. We got to Naples, and again, not what I expected, but Emily lives about 30 minutes outside of the city, which is where my hope was found. Emily has her own house that she rents out there, so we stayed with her for 3 days. The morning following our arrival, I was sitting with her in the kitchen as Steve was sitting out in the pool. And she just started to share about her walk with God, which was the most unexpected conversation I thought would happen. She literally talked for at least 3 hours nonstop, and most of it was her talking and me listening. It was so amazing to see the excitement and the light in her eyes when she was talking about how excited she is to go to church and to go to the group that she's in, and just how God is working in her life. Our conversation wasn't at a surface layer, but it was deep and personal. She shared that recently she had a conversation with someone close to her, and that person was asking, can you just relax with all the Jesus talk? And it showed it's her life now, and everything in her life revolves around Jesus. Her life has been transformed. She's always been a believer, but she called it a mild believer. We grew up in a Christian home. But she never had that personal experience and relationship to him. This changed her daily life. She has strong friendships at work, but looks forward to her godly friendships. And she looks forward to fellowship with them. She prioritizes prayer time and having Fridays strictly for young adult ministry, which she even hosts at her own home. And then she also has shifted her music that she listens to. She even will teach English to the kids during the Italian church services, which she's not a kid person if you had known her before. But she said because it's God's purpose, that's why she's happy doing it. It has gone so far that while she was in Germany, she took an Uber with a driver who is Muslim, and she was able to have a conversation about God, and it allowed her the confidence to have that conversation. Emily gave God all the credit because now she's looking to share, and she's looking to be a disciple. I also learned that she had a lot of church hurt prior to being in Italy that caused her to be cautious and looking for red flags in all of the places that she would go to church between all the different places she's been stationed. I'm so glad she got to be in Italy and find her personal savior that I got to hear the joy of, and it's brought after praying for years for her. It's still exciting and so emotional for me feels like it's not even real to describe what the moment was like to hear all this. Her story has inspired me and has sharpened me as a Christian. It caught me in areas I lack, not having enough conversations, not prioritizing prayer, not involving myself with more believers than non-believers, and what I listen to daily. what I filled my cup with was brought to front and center attention. Her story impacted me to never give up praying for those that are lost and hurting. What really changed her actions was something she shared, is that if it isn't pointing to God, it's pointing to the devil. This hit home for me. My personal shift has started with just the music I listen to. At first, I started listening to music just on my way to work, and it actually made my mindset and my heart space so much better. Also, my husband and I have started listening to podcasts together, allowing us having different conversations, and we're meeting new friends and making better, real connections. Something that I have longed for, yet struggled to do so. So Italy wasn't what I was fully expecting. The trip was definitely worth it, even without seeing Emily. But because of her, I will always remember our honeymoon. There is hope for the family member or friend you pray for that has been hurt so deeply by the church. I thank God that there was hope for my sister, who has been hurt for years, away from her family and all her friends, and even in a different country.